I am not a pedal fork, you dorks! Hello, I have glasses for a genie, Mr. Popo.
Facebook, you goddamn miserable, worthless cretins!
Hello everybody, welcome back to Lolcow News, and we need to talk about Chris Chan. Born February 24th, 1982, Chris Chan is an online influencer. Chris Chan is well known for being the most popular lolcow of all time. Chris was also the first person to upload a Let's Play and report it on the internet. He is a person with high-functioning autism. His parents, Bob and Barbara Chandler, tried to raise him at their best with good morals and good support. However, they warped Chris's reality and made it too easy for him, whether knowing it or not. His history is highly documented, specifically with Gino Samuel's documentary on Chris. A comprehensive history of Chris Chan would be a video that would take multiple parts, so I'm just going to highlight his most important moments. Chris Chan was merely a child when he first appeared online. He was selected to win $1,000 in Sega games from a raffle he won. He was put on television for this, making his first online appearance.
Finally tonight, Sonic the Hedgehog is running wildly in the Chandler household this weekend. 12-year-old Christian Chandler of Charlottesville was the winner in a video game shopping spree. Christian is one of only about 100 winners nationally to receive $1,000 worth of Sega games and equipment. For his parents, it's just another example of how well he's doing. Christian is a high-functioning autistic child. This past fall, on his own initiative, he entered a contest based on a favorite cartoon character.
I had to do was exactly watch Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon, and I'd listen to what Sonic says at the end of it, and write it down for a whole week, and then I had to mail it in, and I had to be drawn out of a hat, and I just won.
Chris was a child with lots of issues. As a child, Chris's father would pay other kids to be friends with him, making him think that people actually liked him, when in reality they were just getting paid to hang out with him. When Chris entered high school, he was notoriously scared of men. He only wanted to be friends with girls. Some girls felt bad for Chris and wanted to be his friend as well. These girls were known as the gal pals. Chris thought that they were actually interested in him, and instead they actually just felt bad for him. He thought that they all had a crush on him, and that was why they were hanging out with him. Flash forwarding a little bit, when Chris was 18 years old, he had an assignment to create an album cover for his sociology class. Chris struggled with the assignment because he could not use copyrighted characters, like Pikachu or Sonichu. These two characters were Chris's favorite characters in the world, and he asked his teacher if he could use them, but she said no. That day at lunch, he brainstormed the character Sonichu, combining the two together and making history. He got an A+ for the assignment. From this point forward, Chris's life was dedicated to drawing the Sonichu comics, despite them looking like an 8-year-old's drawings. Chris's online discovery by the trolls happened when he began hanging up attraction signs at his local mall and later his community college. Someone would take a picture of one of these signs and post it on the internet, being one of the first persons to document Chris's history. He was looking for a cute 18 to 21-year-old boyfriend-free girl. He would hang up this sign everywhere, even after being banned from his local mall for doing so. However, after Chris graduated from high school and ended his gal pal ventures, he enrolled in community college for graphic design. He would begin hanging up his attraction signs even at the community college, but this all stopped when Mary Lee Walsh, the dean at the college, tore up his attraction signs and later banned him from the school when he decided to keep hanging them up. She would repeatedly warn Chris to stop hanging these letters up, and he would not listen. With Chris's online discovery, trolls needed somewhere new to talk about him. This led to the creation of the Kiwi Farms. Chris is on a lifelong love quest. Because of this, Chris has been deceived by trolls countless times pretending to be a love interest. One of Chris's high school gal pals, named Megan, was someone Chris tried to start a relationship with, but she told him that she was not interested and only wanted to be friends. Chris would repeatedly disrespect her boundaries by touching her in weird ways and making her feel uncomfortable, despite which she would still be friends with him and be nice to him because she also, like the other gal pals, felt bad for Chris. Despite being nice to him under any circumstance, Chris drew nude pictures of him and her and posted them online. She herself saw these pictures and was disgusted with them and later unfriended Chris. A few years later, in 2009, Chris went on his first date ever. He went on this date with a troll named Emily. Chris brought his father Bob along for the date. Amusingly, it was Bob who carried much of the conversation, leaving Chris to interject and interrupt. After an hour or so of Emily and Bob talking, Chris and Emily would begin to rock off on their own. When they started to take off on their own, a man in the pickle suit swoops in and steals the girl from Chris. With constant torment of trolls through love quests and Sonichu volumes, Chris stayed on his path of being an artist for the next few years. He had a tendency of spewing homophobic slurs and profusing that he wasn't gay, despite how much the trolls said he was.
You're the shitheads. I'm straight. I'm straight. You're the homo.
But yet, I am attracted to the outer beauty as well, as the majority of my gender should be able to appreciate. And Playboy has been able to help us in that sense to better relate and further our appreciation for the female species. The females, the women, the beautiful ladies. But I digress with holding a Playboy, because I do not need to hold a Playboy to further prove that I am straight.
Chris was raised with Christian values, believing that everybody who was gay would be sent to hell. This later was revealed to be projection, as Chris was gay himself, and actually a trans person. Chris would shock no one when revealing her transition from male to female in 2014.
Would you fuck me, 789 Chan? I'd fuck me.
She legally changed her name to Christine in 2016, which it has been ever since. When Sonic Boom was released, a non-canon spin-off series, Chris protested with his entire being about Sega's decision to make Sonic's arms blue. What a weird thing to blow up about. She would post about this constantly on Twitter.
Get that shit pulled off of shelves in Amazon stores or wherever else all the dang far away, and cancel the freaking G5 series. Make sure it never gets published anywhere and never ever talk about it again, and make the official cancellation notice public. Tell everybody, if you continue on and you do not listen to me, Hasbro, do not resume G4, you have to cancel G5. If you don't cancel G5, you're gonna put this entire timeline in chaos. So I'm giving you this warning to tell you the truth and straight up. Cancel Generation 5 now, Hasbro, now!
On December 26, 2014, Chris was caught vandalizing a Sonic Boom display in GameStop. He was recorded by a bystander, and as someone called security, he shouted, "Don't call security," and then maced a poor GameStop employee.
Don't call anybody.
And that was the vibe too.
With this horrible ordeal being caught on video, it's just another look into the insane life of Chris Chan. In the fall of 2020, a group called Prater, which was in correspondence with Chris Chan, hired a person named Bella to make a Chris Chan Sonichu intro for his YouTube channel. This animation was made for free, and Bella, the person who made the animation, only made it to get into contact with Chris. Afterwards, they were keeping in contact regularly.
It's gonna be a straight quiz to fight. Telling me that never can wait. Yeah, I'm gonna get it right this time. Life is what we find. The second time around.
The person who made the animation is named Isabella Loretta Janke, a self-described edgelord and 4chan user. During conversation, she was nice enough, but behind Chris's back, she was posting their private conversations on the Kiwi farms, and she had leaked Discord messages where she admitted that she wanted to be the final Chris Chan troll that would make Chris kill himself. A couple months later, in July 2021, Christine began telling a few certain individuals, including Bella, about a certain relationship with an older woman. On the now infamous night of July 27, 2021, Chris trusted Bella to such a degree that he revealed the older lady friend was actually his own mother. He said that they had slept together every other night. And the fact that made it even more concerning was that his mother had early-stage dementia, most likely believing that she was having sexual intercourse with the deceased Bob Chandler, her husband. Bella is shrouded by controversy. After the original leaks, Bella tried to hide her identity in the call. She even framed other people and made numerous accounts trying to prove her innocence. She is a pathological liar and should not be trusted. Now that we have a decent history of Chris Chan, let's get to the main point of this video. These leaks would later result in Chris's inevitable arrest, being released about 2 years later for good behavior. It was also decided that Chris would not go to trial due to his autism. When Chris was in jail, a certain person named Flutter reached out to Chris. Flutter is the nickname Chris gave to one of his female friends. The name Flutter comes from her fondness of the My Little Pony character, Fluttershy. Her identity and motives are shrouded in mystery. When Chris was released from jail and sometime in March 2023, he met up with Flutter and began regularly hanging out with her. Chris refers to her as simply a friend, but they have been caught doing much more than what just friends will do. Despite her childlike appearance, she claims that she is 30 years old. On the 17th, she was allegedly spotted making out with Chris in a CVS. The pictures corroborating these points, however, are very blurry, and it's hard to make out what's going on. Despite all of the evidence, Chris and Flutter seem to not be dating, as they haven't been spotted in public since September 2024.